They saw what their neighbor's house
They saw what their
sold
neighbor's,
for,
right.
$50,000 over
Right.
over asking price.
Right.
So they want to start at that $50,000.
This is Davy's Doghouse. If you're a home seller or soon to be one, we'll throw you a bone.
Hey everybody, how are you? Dave Foster here, Fontaine Family, the real estate leader, and I'm here again with Sierra Lemieux, who is also an agent at Fontaine. And we had a great conversation last time, and I thought we would have another one, but this time about expired listings, because we've both been calling people up from a few years ago whose home may have gone on the market but didn't sell, and that's called an expired listing. So there are certain reasons why homes don't sell. And we thought we'd go through just 3, 4, 5 of them this morning real quickly. So Sierra, why don't you start off with number one? We have these listed out here. So.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Dave. It's great to be back again. I love talking with you about these topics. So so the first reason being overpriced. There are a couple different scenarios. Somebody who is overpriced and they know it, and they've just priced high, and they will sell the house if somebody walks up with, a bag of money and takes their home and they can move on. And then the other one is somebody who is overpriced and doesn't quite know it. Maybe they just had a misconception of what their house was going to sell for. They're looking.
Well, yeah, like we've just been through a huge change in the market with COVID and everything going up, and now things are starting to, I want to say stabilize, but maybe come down a little bit in home values. So what are you saying? Like somebody looks at,
they saw what their neighbor's house sold for, $50,000 over asking price. So they want to start at that $50,000 over what they think they might be able to put that in their house on the market for. So overpriced is a big one. It ties into all the other reasons that we're going to talk about today.
All right, so I'll take number 2. So number 2 is poor condition, and so poor condition, like we all know, we've been into a lot of houses as realtors. Doesn't necessarily mean that the home is falling down. It just might mean that the something needs to be fixed. Like leaky faucets are things that people tend to live with for a long time, and then they don't really notice them after a while. But when somebody new comes in with fresh eyes, they see these types of things. Or painting a room, repainting a room.
Beat up hardwood floors.
Right, beat up hardwood floors that may need to be conditioned. However, a seller may not have the money to do that. But at least knowing the condition of the home and being able to price it correctly due to that condition will make it a better chance that your home does not expire, does not sell.
Yeah.
So so poor condition is I think a big one, and
it takes sometimes our eyes to look at it and see, like, okay, we've seen so many other homes, and even though you may not think as a seller that your home's in poor condition, but we can come in and say, other houses like this, or in the price range that you're looking for, have refinished floors, have newer windows, have vinyl siding and not old asbestos falling apart.
Right,
like
and you've seen the houses go from maybe a poor condition aspect to getting repaired to then selling. Yeah. So you've seen those types of things, and that's what's great. Next one, number 3.
Location. So location is huge for almost any buyer. And sometimes a home's location can be a little challenging. There's a buyer for every home out there, but sometimes if it's on a really busy road, or maybe it's right next to Walmart, location is huge. And when we're dealing with a challenging location, we want to highlight all the great things about the home, and highlight sometimes location could be challenging for some, but other people may be looking for that. If it's really in a busy neighborhood, but it's so close to shopping and the hospital, walking distance for things, that might be really important for somebody. So just highlighting it as
sure,
positively.
Yeah. So somebody might like the fact that something's in town and they can walk everywhere. Somebody else that won't like it because it's in town.
Yeah.
You have experience with a home recently where you put it on the market and came up with a very good price on it and got a ton of showings. Yeah. Because the price was right, and maybe that seller would have looked at the price and thought, "Geez, I wonder if that's less than I should get." But the reality is, when it's priced correctly, and in a good location,
Yeah.
you're going to get that feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
It might be priced correctly, but not in the same kind of location, and you won't get that kind of activity on it.
Yeah, and
So
that's kind of how pricing ties. It really ties into everything here.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that we can't change, but we can change the price.
Right.
Can't change the location,
Right.
but yeah.
Number 4 is poor marketing. Nowadays, you can market anywhere, but doing it properly so that people actually see the listing is very important. So, Fontaine, we have a number 3, top 3 ranked website in the region, which is very important. We also have our app. We also have our on-site marketing department, which will put together great marketing for home listings. But one of the things that I've noticed, I've done, as some of you may know, I do video and video for my listings and things like that. When I go on a call with a signature home, something over 500,000, I'll go on the MLS the night before, and I'll look for homes over, say, 800,000 in York and Cumberland County. And I just want to see how many of them actually have what's called a custom video.
Yeah.
So a video where it's like a walkthrough tour, like HGTV. And I can tell you, I haven't so far found any time when I've been on when there have been more than 10 out of 100 homes that had a video.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's 7 or 8 homes have a custom video. They all have photos. That most of them have a 3D tour, the Matterport tour. Some of them have what's called a panorama tour, which is that, they take the pictures and they put them into a slideshow. So it's like your grandfather just came back from the Grand Canyon and he's showing.
Nobody watches those. You get through 3 and then you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a custom walkthrough is actually where somebody's touring you through the home. It can be very powerful. And it still shocks me that there are homes, $1, $2, $3 million homes on the market that don't have a custom video included.
Your last one was amazing.
Thank you.
Like the video, but then it had the seller's voiceover of telling the story of the home and the history.
Yeah, she's very sad about moving, and so I said, let's incorporate her story about the home into the video, and that really was.
And buyers seeing that, like they're not just buying this house,
Right.
in Leeds, they're buying
They're buying
this
a
whole
feeling,
story, and
So we do this stuff really well as far as the whole marketing package. They used to have the 3 Ps. It was put on the MLS, put up a sign, and pray.
Yeah.
And that was the marketing plan for most, and quite frankly can be for many agents still in the business. But we're using social media, understanding marketing, keywords, Google My Business, photos, videos.
Yeah.
It's all really important to make
really,
sure.
you've got to have nice photos. They've got to be all the lights on, bright, really show every spot, every space of the home.
And don't be standing in a mirror with your underwear on. I've seen those on the fails, the MLS fails, where someone's taking their own photos and they don't realize they're doing it right into a camera, and you can see them as like, come on. And they put that on the MLS anyway.
Yeah.
It's just like, how can you do that? So.
And then we have our Matterport, which is huge. The virtual 3D walkthrough, because there are, I forget what the number is, but the amount of people buying from out of state moving into Maine, and if they can click on a virtual walkthrough and it's like they're doing their own showing, and walking through the home and looking at the ceiling, the floors, every detail, that piece of marketing.
Yeah, and even measuring.
Huge.
You can measure with the Matterport tour. You can actually see if your couch can fit in under a window or something like that. Yeah, it's very cool. That's your first showing. The showing that happens online in almost every case is a first showing. You need to be able to make sure your home is capable of getting out there. So enough on that. That's my biggie, poor marketing. It drives me crazy. But anyway, the final one, number 5.
Number 5, another reason why homes don't sell. A seller who's just not motivated. Maybe they're just testing out the market. They're putting it out for a price, usually a pretty high price, and they're not willing to do anything. Most buyers are going to go through inspections on a property, and when things come up, if a seller is not willing to work with the buyer in some way to get things moving forward, then that house will have a hard time selling.
Yeah, could sit there.
Yeah.
So again, going back to our experience as realtors is understanding this is something that is a fair ask from the buyer for the seller to do.
Yep.
Comparing it to not selling, what's the cost of that? So
Yeah.
if you do need to sell, but all of a sudden you realize you might be on the market for 4 or 5 more months and paying your mortgage payment for that long, that could be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000,
Yeah.
depending on where you live, or much more. And you're looking at being asked to do a $1,000 or $2,000 repair
Yeah.
to get you to the closing table. So again, as realtors, we have to sit down and kind of go over here's this scenario, here's this scenario. What do you as a seller want to do? But
Yeah.
it's really important to understand that. So yeah, so bottom line is, these are some of the reasons that homes don't sell. There are other reasons that homes might not sell. But we see a lot of expired listings on the market, not so much in the past 3 years because it's been such a hot market,
Yeah.
but it's starting to grow again.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see more expired listings, also more price drops.
Yeah.
So the market is adjusting to what's going on. But anyway, the bottom line is hire someone like Sierra or me to sell your home. You'll have a better shot of getting the best price you can get and not having it out there 3, 4, 5, 6 months and
Yeah.
then not sell.
And having an agent being honest with you about, these things. If you think we think you're overpriced, or just going over everything.
We're going to tell you.
Yeah.
See, sometimes we don't tell you what you want to hear. Well,
Yeah.
many times.
Yeah.
But it's what you might need to hear to do what you want to do if you want to sell. So
Yep.
anyway, well, thanks again, Sierra. Always a pleasure having you chat. You know your stuff, so that's what's really great. And I hope all you homeowners that are thinking about selling, remember, get going early. Get going a year, 6 months early, because there's a lot to get done prior to selling, and get hold of one of us agents prior to that. We'll have our contact information at the end of the video. Hope you all have a great day. And what do we say? Don't forget, today's the day.
Don't dog it.
Don't dog it.